Frank's coming in for Hera for game number 1. Probably the most meta civilization he could have gone for this map. And TaToH on the other hand. What do we get? It's gotta feel so good to have a live audience over there. It's like Twitch, but in real life. A few hundred people watching you play. But you can actually see them as well. for a change, sorry. Right, TaToH civilization. What will he go for? He's got Turks. He's got Lithuanians, if I'm not mistaken. As well. Don't remember all the saves that he's got. Should probably take a look at the Captain's Mode website. There's no bar in the event. Glad I'm not there. Seems a good reason to be glad about it. Yeah. Precisely like Twitch in real life. So I'm taking a look at the draft once again, but we don't need to wait for TaToH civilization because it's already on display over there. And it's gonna be TaToH's for him. We'll jump into game number 1 in just a moment. There we go. I'm loading into the game. I'm just waiting for the players to jump in as well so that we have the webcam view. Alright guys. Take a look at the webcams. Go for it. There we go. Yeah. Welcome everyone to game number 1. In the second semi-final of the day, Hera versus TaToH, best of 5. Right from the get-go, we see a little bit of a skirmish up in the north with Hera about to lose a villager over here. Not if he's quick enough, and he is going to be quick enough to repel the scout over here by bringing the spearman, by ganging up with the villagers against the scout, and TaToH's gonna have to bail. We see from the very get-go as well that TaToH's going to open up with an archer range. While Hera, on the other hand, well, he's got just the archer range over here himself as well, so it's gonna be a very similar opening for both these guys. Hope you're looking forward to the series as much as I am, and I hope you're looking forward to the final day as much as I am. I could barely get any sleep last night, gotta be honest. I was so, it was so early for me, actually. So I was just not tired. Yeah, just the excitement, the adrenaline of casting these games over here is going to keep me very alert. I'm very much looking forward to the rest of the day. So we see some archers coming in from Hera already. Meanwhile, TaToH, he's got some villagers forward. He's got some skirmishers on the way. But he's got some archers forward himself as well. So it's going to be the same composition for both these guys. 3 archers for each player. We have skirmishers on the way for TaToH. We have archers on the way for Hera, so he's just sticking to it. And this is very curious because we have seen already Franks open with archers in the past. And it works pretty well because it's going to buy you time. Once you get to the castle age, if you force your opponent into going for skirmishers, right, that's going to fit very nicely into your knight push that you're going to want to go for as Franks. At this point in time, it seems like TaToH's doing a little bit of a better job over here with the units. He will take The Spearman down, doesn't end up losing both his archers, but he does end up taking one archer from here as well. So far, head to head, 2-2 KD. Doesn't seem like Hera is particularly outplaying TaToH over here too much anyway. And TaToH's actually bringing a few units from the right-hand side. Might be able to get on the wood line over there. We take a look at the line of sight of TaToH. He should know about the wood line, and he knows about it, but he's trying to push Hera away from berries, and he does get a villager down over here already. TaToH starting very strong, does not losing the scout. The first blood in terms of villagers is going to favor TaToH for sure, and this is a great start of the game, a great start of the series. The archers on the hill from Hera make it impossible for TaToH to keep on putting pressure over here, at the very least against the foragers. But once again, you know, TaToH could push those lumberjacks away, and he doesn't even need to put pressure from around the in front of the wood line, but he can go around the wood line, just fit the archers around here, and that should be enough. Yeah, I see one villager goes down, and this is so much damage though. Hera's losing 2 villagers already. He's going up to the castle age, yes. He's managed to save the resources, but it's coming at a cost of no military, at the very least. Not anywhere near as much military as TaToH, and if TaToH places cards right over here, might be able to keep on putting pressure up until Hera eventually gets to the castle age himself. There we go. Scouts are coming in from TaToH. This is a little bit too risky though. There's a lot of villagers over there from Hera, and we know the red player is more than capable of taking a good trade over here. TaToH, however, does bring the extra archers onto the hill, and he might end up getting a villager down over here. We do have some low HP villagers over there. We're gonna see one going down. Not quite. That is really good. Oh, the villager does go down, and the spearman over there goes down from here as well. I thought the red player was gonna be able to defend over here, but that is not so much the case, as TaToH ends up getting another villager and pushing Hera away from berries, taking the red player down to 36 villagers, 39 population versus 57, and there is the pause over here. Hera is having issues. We'll see what it is, but TaToH dominating game number 1. So what is the problem? Let's actually remove the... Actually, I don't think we are going to have too much information as to what the issue is, because the clean feed does not have any commentary audio. So I can only see Hera complaining about something over there. But it seems like... yeah, it's probably something related to the keyboard, the mouse, or hotkeys. Something along those lines. He did take a lot of losses over here though, so... I'm not really sure. If he was having issues, I'm not really sure if it's possible for them to restart, because the game's already... like, a lot has happened. It wouldn't be a good idea to restart for sure, but I guess we are going to find out in a moment. Regardless though, yeah, we have an assistant over there. Let's go back. All right, I guess we're going to know what the issue was in just one moment. I'm gonna ask about it myself. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to... I'm just going to wait for an answer over here. I'm not really sure exactly what the situation is currently. As soon as I get some information, I'm going to let you guys know. And quite clearly, there were some hardware issues, but I'm not really sure what that was about. Perhaps connectivity? Perhaps high latency? Well, that's gonna be a tough call, though, for anyone to make. I'm certainly glad I'm not admin this. And it seems like Mem and Neely are not aware of what's going on either, so... yeah, I guess not having audio over here doesn't really change too much. Didn't miss the first match? You missed the first series. We are in game number 1 of the second semifinal. Yes. Today it started 1 hour earlier. Started at 11 GMT. I thought it was supposed to start at 13 GMT, so 1 hour later compared to last weekend. But when I checked yesterday, just to be sure that I knew what the starting time was, to be 100% sure, right? I saw that it was 11 GMT and I was like, oh crap. Anyway, yeah, there is no information coming in as to what's the issue yet. But as soon as we have more information, of course, I'm going to share that with you. Or if you get more information, do make sure to share that over here as well. But that was a very strong start for TaToH. To be fair, Hera was about to get to the Castle Age himself, so he might have been able to make a play for Castle Age units. The problem though is that he doesn't really have the means to do that. I'm taking a look at the minimap right now, and okay, it seems that guys are in the game again. Give me a moment. I don't see them playing. It seems like there is going to be a restart. No, the game is paused. And it's just a one game. Okay, so I just got baited by the posture of Hera. But they are not resuming the game just yet. No, the game is still paused. It's not a restart. At the very least, the game's still on. They are just paused.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I see right now. I can see the chat. Hera said 7 minutes, well, on the pause, right? I alt-tabbed and lost 30 seconds. I put my monitor off my screen, like the game, not monitor. Okay, so yeah, it seems like the game alt-tabbed or something, but we are going to resume. Let's go. There we are. Yeah, and that's another spearman going down for TaToH, and it's just going to be a resume over here. It's not going to be a restart. For anybody who might not be aware, there was an issue where Hera, yeah, it seems like he lost about 30 seconds over here. At the very least, he had already clicked up to the Castle Age. If he had the resources and was delayed 30 seconds to click it out, that would have been significantly worse, but this is not too bad at the very least in the great scheme of things. TaToH still putting pressure though, and to be fair, I don't think that would have changed too much if Hera didn't really have the issues. We saw the engagement on top of the hill going in favor of TaToH as well. We saw right now TaToH take a villager up in the north next to the gold. And he's roaming around with the archers, the scouts. He's going to go after the gold once again. And I was taking a look at this while we were waiting for a resolution. And I noticed that Hera did not really have a stable to be seen, but he did manage to get one up, so he's got one knight coming out over here. Now we'll see though, that's still a lot of damage coming in from TaToH, taking another villager down and another one. He will go after more villagers, and he's straight in for villains. He does not care for military because he's got fuel he needs to fight with. He's not engaging against the knights, he's just going after villagers, and 11 villager kills from TaToH so far. He's on his way to the Castle Age. Only a minute and 20 seconds away from it, and it does not seem like that's going to be anywhere near enough time for Hera to clean TaToH's units up and go for the start, putting some pressure, so no counter strikes coming in from the red player at all, and TaToH's looking mighty strong in game number 1. Gonna see more villagers going down over here. At the very least, that should be the case with 3 archers still left over there. He does get another one, and he's going after another one, and he might get another one. And Hera down to 33 villagers. TaToH will be in the Castle Age in 25 seconds. And he's already ahead by 12 villagers. He's got a third stable on the way, and he's playing freaking Totters. 3 stable. Full production from TaToH coming in. He's in a much better position compared to Hera. With his current economy, he should be able to significantly outproduce the red player. We have a second TC on the way right now for TaToH and for Hera as well. But because TaToH's going for the second TC as well, it means that as long as both players are able to keep the TCs working, TaToH should be able to prevent Hera from catching up in worker count. So far, still looking like it might be TaToH's game to lose over here. And Hera's been struggling big time. I've heard about them GG, but Castle H into GG is not quite as common. It's not quite as common, but it's not going to happen this time around. So we'll see what we get. TaToH will keep on putting pressure, of course. Right now he's got camels and knights queued up, and he's coming over to harass the forward line from Hera. He might end up getting a villager over here, and I think that's gonna be a villager going down. Yes, sir. Make that 2 villages going down. Yes, sir. Up into the north, the extra walls were coming up for Hera, but it does not seem like he'll be able to connect these. And TaToH's got vision of that. He could deny it, but he does not have vision of it. So in the end, Hera might get away with the walls over here. Now, we'll keep an eye on TaToH's point of view, because he could very well end up realizing about the villagers over there when trying to bail, as he does not really have too much to do around this area anymore. He's got to go over the right hand side, and he's not finding about this. Yeah, and Hera's going to complete the wall successfully over there. Well done. Conversion potential coming in over here for Hera as well. Now he realizes about the walls. Oh! And Hera actually haven't finished this! 1 villager goes down over there, and that's 17 villagers dead from Hera to TaToH's units. And more villagers going down on the left-hand side. 2, 3 additional villagers crumbling over here from the red player to TaToH's push. It's gonna start collecting the relics as well, as if it was not enough of a lead for TaToH. He's looking extremely good right now. TaToH, that is. He's doing pretty well himself. Now the walls are completely up. For Hera, it's gonna be a little bit harder for TaToH to keep on putting pressure, but he's not going to stop, of course. Hera's trying to play defensive over here with the monks. This is probably about the only way that he's got to go about this, I think. You know, taking units away from TaToH's army and into his own ranks, of course, will be much better for Hera. That's probably about the only way that he will be able to come back into this one. We do see TaToH going after the same villagers over here. He already targeted earlier. He's got some cavalry archers into the mix as well, so it's going to be CA plus knights. And TaToH's got an extremely strong civilization. I was wondering if he was going to make use of these on Arabia, mainly because of this being, I think, the map with the most elevations from the maps picked for the second series of the day. And he's gone for it, and he's been able to take advantage of it. Earlier on, a very key battle over here on the hill obviously went in favor of TaToH, and now he might actually end up getting a villager over here. We'll see. He doesn't really have ballistics though, so it's not the best. But he does have at the very least thumb ring, so that means that against static units he should be able to take care of these guys without too many issues. Now 2 conversions coming in from Hera over here. This is probably about close to the best trade that he could have gotten. TaToH still has pressure, and this is not going to be the only army from TaToH, by the way. Another conversion coming in over there, but now the monks cannot keep on converting anymore, so we're going to see the monks going down over there, at the very least one of these. And Hera survives for the time being, but once again, this is not the only army left from TaToH, as he's got a second group of units coming over from the south, and that's going to be pure CA. Much harder to counter. He's got ballistics on the way right now as well, so thumb ring and ballistics will be extremely difficult for TaToH to defend against. For Hera to defend against, sorry. TaToH should be able to get some good damage done with these units. Now they are going to have ballistics equipped as well. Yeah, and you know what? Hera's going for the 30C. But TaToH already went for the 30C himself. He's got a TC right next to the goal. It's incredible to see just how good these players are able to, or how well they are able to manage their military over here and their economy at the same time. It's just remarkable. The knights are getting close to the cavalry archers over there, but that's gotta be GG! As Hera cannot keep on defending against TaToH's push over here, the cavalry archer do end up taking the monks, preventing Hera from defending himself, and that's going to be 1-0 in favor of TaToH. Let's go through the achievements really quickly over here. What do we get? A very nice KV. Better than 3-2 for TaToH. For economy, on the other hand, a stronger economy for TaToH as well, collecting about 4,000 and 400, 600 extra resources, close to it. and a much higher work count. Not even close. And all the losses over here, Hera ended up losing 21 villages throughout this game against TaToH, and TaToH did not lose a single one. So we're trying to get ready for game number 2. While we wait for that, of course. Just play a quick commercial over here to keep the pre-rolls disabled. 1 minute. Let's actually take a look at the interview first.
Hello everyone, I'm known as Hera and I'm from Canada. So I qualified to Bull Wololo Legacy by finishing in the semi-finals in the RMS Cup 2 tournament. I prepared for Bull Wololo Legacy by playing a ton of Empire War sets against various opponents, and I also practiced some specific maps so I can be a little bit more sharp on the ones that I would like to play. Because it's Empire Wars, I think it's all about coming in confident, and you will have a good run against everyone, but at the same time you have to be careful of everyone. It's very dangerous. I would say I feel more confident against the people who like to play a little bit more of a slower paced game. So I think someone who's known to be a little bit more defensive, something like Doubt, something like maybe Mr. Yo, who don't start off as strong as some of the other players. I think for me personally, those styles I can take advantage of a little bit better than other players.
There we go. Well, you know, TaToH, he is not going to be the most aggressive player that you have seen. However, he does have the ability to go for it. We have seen him with this more feudal boy account, that he's more than capable of putting the aggression up. As early as the, you know, the Dark Age, the Feudal Age, of course. We do not have a Dark Age in Empire Wars, but we saw him put a lot of pressure already in game number 1. He does end up taking it now. We'll see if there are any technical issues for game number 2. And we'll see if Hera's able to do better compared to game number 1. For the time being, he's on the back foot. Still have up to 4 more games to go, of course. The only way that this is going to be a short one is if TaToH clutched it up and took games number 2 and 3 at the same time. There we go, the guys are getting ready. And TaToH's expression. He's just trying to stay focused over here. He kind of looks stressed, doesn't he? At the very least from my end. That seems to be it, like... He's just gotten back from work and his kids are jumping all over the couch and the house is a mess. And he's just staring at everything. That's the face that I see, the expression that I see on TaToH's face right now. Here on the other hand, of course, not gonna be too happy about it either, but... Well, not saying that TaToH's not happy, actually. I'm sure he's thrilled, but he's not really showing. He's gotta tell his face that he's off to a great start for the series. But I imagine he's gotta be extremely pleased with his performance in game number 1. And I imagine he's probably just trying to keep it together. He's probably just trying to keep his composure. Probably just thinking of what to go for next. And Hera instead. Yeah, this is gonna be a huge blow for your morale. You're in Hera's position. Yeah, it's gotta suck big time now. Let me take a look to see if there's a lobby. There is a lobby. TaToH and Hera are there. Krazini is there as well. There we go. So the game is going to begin very shortly. While we wait, I want to know if you guys saw the 25th anniversary stream from Age of Empires. If you saw all the news. If you didn't, I made a summary video on my YouTube channel that you can go and watch as well if you just want to get the juicy stuff. And it's been great. It's been great. I'm so happy that finally, boys, finally, Age of Mythology is getting a definitive edition. It's fantastic. The new DLC for AoE 2 I'm very curious about as well, though we do not really have too much information about that yet. Anyway, humans are gonna be the civilization the TaToH selects for game number 2. And the map for the second one is gonna be Morass, by the way. Hera, on the other hand, what does Hera have? Humans are a very interesting pick over here. Morass is the map that's got the secondary golds to the sides. Let's see. Considering this footage is like super laggy, I'm using the clean feed that they provided us with, so there isn't really much that I can do about this. I am streaming at 30 FPS as opposed to 60 FPS though, so maybe that's why it seems kind of laggy over here, or more stuttery compared to the main stream, but it shouldn't be by too much. It should certainly not be extremely or super laggy. But anyway, since the game's starting, Bulgarians for Hera, huh? It looks totally different on 2 other streams I have on. If the other streams are at 60 FPS, that's probably why. That's the only reason that I can think of over here. It's just a YouTube feed they provide us with, so with no commentary on top of it. But it should be alright. Yeah, it's gotta be the FPS. I've always streamed at 30 FPS. Computer's not good enough for 60. But yeah, if you're just watching here, it's gonna look fine. If you go elsewhere, you're gonna get spoiled, but you'll be ruined for my stream, but if you've always watched here, it's fine, I guess. Anyway. Okay. That's good to hear, guys. Hope you still managed to enjoy, of course, and... Why is the game not connecting? It's loading on my end, but it's loading forever. TaToH is... It seems like TaToH is loading over here quite a bit, and Hera seems to be right. I might have to restart the game, I think. Because it's just not loading into it. Yeah, screw it. I'm restarting Age of Empires. Sorry about that. Hopefully we'll be able to jump into the game and we're not going to be too far behind. They will transition into it at the mainstream though. So we'll have to take a look at it for a moment, but I'm going to try to catch up. Oh, never mind. It's a restart. Okay, that's good. We are not falling behind. It's a restart. I'm not really sure what happened. Probably a bug villager again. Either that or TaToH effectively was not connecting. Red Bull seems to always have difficulties. You know, it's been pretty smooth up until this point. I don't think we have had too many issues. Sometimes the maps are going to have like stuck villagers, but I don't think it's too often. Like for instance, today in the first set, we did not have any technical issues whatsoever to speak of. Nothing. But yeah, for the second, that's what is it, 2 restarts so far? I think so. I just love the artwork that they have made for the background screens over there. I imagine they probably utilize some of the Age of Empires 3 assets, because that doesn't seem too Age of Empires 2E. Doesn't seem too Age of Empires 4E either. So I guess probably some Age of Empires 3 footage. Let's see. I see the new lobbies here. Krasini's there, TaToH and Hera are there. The game should be starting in just one moment. Yes. It's coming in right now. I'm going to hop onto it and wait for the player, for the welcome view to work. Yo! Welcome Mystery! Thank you so much for the resub. 19 months? Hello, hello. Welcome back. Nice to see you around. Hope you're doing better, man. Afternoon to you. Oh, okay, there we go. The game's here. I'm just going to pause until the players or the player feed comes. We should be able to jump into it in a moment. Right, let's go for it. And I imagine the webcam view is coming in a moment. And there we go, everyone. Welcome to game number 2. We have a live audience this time around, or at the very least a cheer of it. And we have TaToH playing down south as the Cumans. We have Hera playing with Bulgarians up in the north as well. And that show, thanks so much for the raid. Welcome, everyone. We're watching game number 2 in the second semifinals of the day between Hera and Mr. TaToH. From the get-go, Hera's going to start collecting some of the shorefish up in the north. We saw an incredible performance from TaToH in game number 1. And even though Hera had some difficulties, I think it was not as bad as it could have been. At the very least, issues that he had happened when he was already going up to the next stage, so he did not lose on uptime, for instance. But he did end up losing 1 or 2 extra villages over there because of it, so we'll see. Regardless though, see a little bit of pressure over here coming in from Hera. Yeah. Up in the north, TaToH, he's going for 2 stables right away. He's got an archer range and he's going for 2 stables. Okay, Nuis. Appreciate it. Yes. I had almost gotten over it, but thank you for reminding me of it. Anyway, there's a stable on the way now for TaToH as well. It's gonna be the same for both, actually. We have the archer range, we have 2 stables over here as well. And I guess that's probably because of TaToH realizing what Hera's going for. Probably that's the case. I think probably that was the case. TaToH saw the 2 stables coming up over here and he decided to go for the second stable himself as well, not to fall behind the military production over here. Now we'll see though. The quick balls over there from Hera are not really connecting too much. And he will end up losing a villager over here as a consequence. So at the very least, that should be pretty much the case. And that was so close though! And TaToH did not commit to it because he does not want to sacrifice HP in lieu of getting 1 villager over there. That is really interesting, actually. We do see the scouts go down over here from TaToH in the end anyway, though. So, you know, trying to keep the scouts alive over there instead of taking the villagers down did not really work out too well for him. He did end up taking losses on the right-hand side. And that was a little bit rough for the blue player, for sure. Very nice on the left-hand side. Here's the one putting some pressure. Cannot really do too much, though. Why not just kill the villager? I think he just wanted to preserve the HP of his scouts, because on a double stable scout battle, you need to keep your numbers high. You need to keep your units healthy. So it does make sense in that regard. The problem is that even still, he was still taking the worst trade against Hera. Now Hera's looking much stronger. He's got a lot of scouts over here, taking the skirmishers down right away. It's gonna end up taking another scout down over here from TaToH for sure too. There we go. Yeah, but he couldn't tell that he was going to lose him anyway. He just tried to preserve the HP. So it does make sense, the decision at that point. Obviously, hindsight's gonna be 2020, but I understand that. We'll see in the end, though. Hera does end up taking the better trades overall. He's got 19 to 10. KD. Absolutely amazing for Hera so far in game number 2. And TaToH just calls it GG. Wow! 6 minutes and 28 seconds. G. Holy crap, though. Talk about dominating performance over here. And, well, Hera definitely taking advantage of his home map. That's why he wanted to scout the HP. We were missing some upgrades, so unfortunately TaToH did not have forging, while Hera did. I did not bring that up because there was too much action, and I was just shouting. But yeah, Hera did have the better upgraded scouts as well. So he did really well. He did add a third stable, which we didn't see because we were taking a look at the battle, but Hera did add a third stable, and TaToH on the other hand, he was on 2 stables only, so it's definitely going to have an impact on the matchup over there, on the engagements, of course, in TaToH. He realized he cannot really keep on going anymore, and he just calls GG, so, I mean, he could have tried. This is Bull Wololo Legacy, you want to try as much as you can, and I think he could have kept on going, but certainly he was on the back foot, and that was not going to be an easy game to recover from. That was not going to be an easy position to recover from for TaToH. So for the time being, 1-1. TaToH versus Hera. We'll see what it is that we get for game number 3. Let me take a look to see if they already have a lobby. There is no lobby yet, but we have the draft on screen, so what is it that we get? Enclosed is still available for TaToH to pick as one of his home maps. He's got Northern Isles. For game number 2, Hera was the one selecting a home map, so now for games number 3, potentially for game number 4, it could take place on TaToH's home maps. And remember that the maps are shared between the players, so we could potentially see TaToH select the Bull instead. Well, Hera on the other hand, well, Hera is... Oh, that was a great shot. Hera actually looked holy over there for a second. Did you see it? Well, anyway, there is a lobby right now for game number 3. Krazini is there, TaToH's there. We do not really need to play a commercial because there is still about 10 minutes of pre-roll off time. So I'm just going to queue for the next one. Maybe he has to go soon. Doesn't want to play long games? Yeah, that seems about right. By the way, the phone that I use for controlling my stream, like playing ads, for instance, seems like it broke. It's not turning on. It was on a moment ago, but it was frozen. It seemed to have crashed. And now it's just not turning on at all. Like it's there on the start screen. Not even the home screen, but the start screen, you know, the splash screen. When it's just booting, and it's just stuck there. Huh. I guess it's not going to keep on working anymore. To be fair, this is a phone from 2013, so probably not expecting to keep it working for much longer, but anyway. Koreans coming in for TaToH for Northern Isles, actually. Hera Civilization is coming in 1 moment. I already have a game at hand, so I'm just going to wait for the guys to jump into it. Remove the battery for a minute and put it back on. Yeah, I already did that. I couldn't turn it off before because it crashed and it was just not responding. Now I took the battery off and trying to turn it on and it just got stuck over there in the boot screen. Well, whatever. I can still control my stream by hand. So Bengalis coming in from Hera. The game should be coming up on stream in just 1 moment. Let's go for it. There we go. We're gonna have to catch up a little bit though. They only jumped into the game when it was like 1 minute into it, so I'm just going to go fast forward until 1.5 minutes perhaps. We are very unlikely to miss much of anything because there's Northern Isles, right? Like the players cannot really put aggression from the get-go. We see both players transporting the scout sword, but for the time being it's just going to be for scouting information. And not to put pressure against any villagers, of course. Very, very important to keep vision of what your opponent is going for on a map like this, because if you lose a scout, it's going to be so hard for you to get any extra units across, or at the very least it's going to be pretty uncertain Because if you end up losing your scouts and you have to send units forward, do you like go for archers and transport those? Or do you send the one spearman, but then if your opponent is exposed, do you start going for archers? And so it's very important to keep the scouts alive. Now we see an archer range coming out for Hera, but TaToH already had the first archer range up and he's got units already on the way. He's gonna be the first one to start putting pressure. Then it's paperweight? Yeah. Good thing that that it wouldn't be too expensive to replace. I was thinking of getting myself finally after like a decade a new phone for Christmas as a self-present, but nah, there is no money for that. We'll see. Still trying to get enough for the audio setup. I guess we're gonna see next month. Next month we're going to have a lot more frequent streams as well. This month has not been too good in that regard because Red Bull, but next month we are going to have Double Cup 3 to cover. We're gonna have MEMS tournament to cover as well. That's gonna be great. Fire Galley on the way for Hera on the left hand side, putting pressure against TaToH, and TaToH already has Fire Galleys himself as well. Plus he transported a villager, 2 villagers actually, along the 3 archers, so he's going for a tower over here. It doesn't seem like Hera's going to realize about this until the tower comes up. He does realize about the archers, of course, and he's already completely walled up, so it's very unlikely TaToH will be able to do too much with the archers, but the tower is going to be great. And the tower is coming up. Take a look at the range for this one. It's going to prevent Hera from collecting resources over here. There we are.
Hi. Hey.
Absolutely fantastic. The right hand side. Pressure from TaToH as well, and Hera's on his way to the castle age, and this is very similar to what we saw in game number 1, with the difference that Hera's not losing a crap ton of villagers on his way up. So what do we get for these civilizations? TaToH is on paper with a defensive type civilization that is also naval. So I think Koreans are defensive and naval, if I'm not mistaken. But they do not really have too many bonuses for water, actually. While Hera, on the other hand, with Bengalis, is going to have 15 HP regeneration per minute on boats. Right. Let me mute that. And so far, not too much damage. Hera is the one player who's gotten some damage done over here, getting a fishing ship, I think. Yeah. Getting a fishing ship down so far and getting to the castle age earlier. It's very interesting that he was able to stay ahead in worker count. Now TaToH's got a dock on the right hand side. The Hera's realized about, wow. Down the south, we'll see an extra TC coming up for Hera. It's amazing that he's been able to stay ahead in worker count despite the fact that he's gonna have so much earlier. He only got 1 fishing ship from TaToH, but now with the second TC coming up, that should put Hera in a pretty good spot over here to start pulling ahead in villager count even further. We take a look at the left-hand side, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of pressure coming in from Hera against TaToH's dock over here, which should work out pretty soon. Siege workshop on the way for TaToH first thing after getting to the castle age. It's gonna start putting some pressure up in Hera. Well, Hera's just got the scout so far. Doesn't seem like he should be able to do too much damage over here. I mean, if he plays his cards right, he might be able to find the villager over there, but he's going to risk losing the scout for sure. So he's just causing a little bit of idle villager time for TaToH. Not too much. He's gotten the war galley upgrade as well, so these are fire ships as opposed to fire galleys. And then on the right hand side, first magnets are really queued up from TaToH. He'll be breaching through the walls over here, no problem. We'll see an extra tower on the way now from TaToH as well. TaToH Papito. Beautiful. Let's take a look. So he could potentially he's going to get the tower up over here, right? From this point, that's the thing. From this point, we could see TaToH First off, he's gonna be pushing the villagers away from Hera from the goal, but then he could go for extra towers. And then if he goes for one on the right hand side over here that stays within range at this one, he should be able to mutually defend both these towers and still push the villagers away not only from goal but also from the wood line over there from the TC. So that could be really good for him. He's trying to breach through though. Siege workshops on the way. For Hera, the defensive one. We have a second TC on the way for TaToH. So far, he's fallen behind in work count. Doesn't seem like he'll be able to keep up in that regard. Yeah, now the villagers are coming in. So where is the tower coming up? Turtles! Yes! You call the guys! The water elephants are coming in. The tortugas! This is not too good still for TaToH though. He's kind of struggling with the mantle, and he's certainly getting probably a better trade that he would have been able to otherwise, but he does end up losing one of the turtles over there. He's gonna need to go for more. Is he going for more actually? He's got another one queued up, yes. You know, the mountains over here have proved insufficient. So TaToH's got just the one turtle left, and where did he go for that one? Because I do not see it currently. Where is it? On the left. Oh man, yeah, that was not going to help in the water battle at all. It seems TaToH is 100% getting pushed away from water over here, and Hera's getting away with a stronger economy. Plus, he's managed to scrap enough stone together to get a defensive castle up over here, which will make it so much harder for TaToH to keep on putting pressure. Does not loosen 2 villages over here to the mountains though, and the castle's going to remain in foundation state for the time being. Trying to defend against the mountains first. And here comes TaToH. He's got the mountain right there at hand. Does realize about the castle coming up? He knows about the castle. Now Hera's going to transport some villagers over to the center and try to get control of that. Very soon he's gonna have enough stone to go for a second castle, so it's going to be full center control. And you know what? This was TaToH's home map. After losing game number 2, he was the one to pick the map for game number 3, and he does end up going through Northern Isles. But he's been struggling so far. I do like the aggression he's been putting. I do like the initiative that TaToH has taken so far, but it's been a struggle, man. Hera's been able to defend just fine. Hera's been able to get ahead in working count by quite a bit. It's got 21 extra workers compared to TaToH. In terms of military, TaToH's looking a little bit stronger, but it's such a small difference that I don't think it's going to offset for the huge villager lead that Hera's got. So we see some of the fishing ships going down over here to the turtle ship very soon, but at most he'll be able to get like 4 units down, right? And yeah, TaToH's behind right now by about 17 units. Could be down by 14 only, I guess. We'll see. Meanwhile, TaToH's got some stone miners. He does not really have anywhere near enough stone to go for a castle himself, but he does transport some villagers over to the center. Now Hera's going for the castle over here. If TaToH had realized about the castle over here from the get-go, he would have been able to go for a tower, but as is, he cannot really react over here on time anymore. The castle's coming up for Hera. And because Hera's still collecting stone quite as heavily as he was before, still just as heavily as he was before, he should be able to go for yet another castle very soon. A TC on the way for Hera over here. I think he ended up selling some of the stone. Didn't he have more? No, he didn't have more, but he's not collected anymore, interestingly enough. But once he gets the TC up over here, if he starts going for stone, he should be able to go for another castle to push TaToH away. Remember as well, there's going to be some downtime, or not really downtime rather, but we are going to have an Age of Empires 1 event happening before the grand finals for Age of Empires 2. It's gonna be great to take a look at. Kind of sad that they changed it to a best of 5 as opposed to the best of 7. I guess they could potentially still, if they wanted to, they could change it back to a best of 7, given that the first semifinal was kind of short, and if the second semifinal does not extend too much, even if we had 2 games so far, the second one was so short. If the second semifinal does not extend too much, I guess it should be possible for them to go for a best of 7 for Age of Empires 1 and then the Age of Empires 2 grand finals. I guess we'll see. Anyway, nice push and water over here from TaToH. Does still have extra military units compared to Hera, but is it going to be enough though? That's the question. A lot of fire ships over here. TaToH's got just the 1 mana left over there. That is a good ground attack, and that's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. There's not enough power over here. Speak of. For TaToH, so he ends up getting pushed away. And now, Hera's got finally enough resources to go for another castle. And this is what I was talking about, so he's going for it. He's going for it. He's gotta be careful because TaToH's got a guard tower over here. He's playing Korean, so he gets the tower upgrades for free. With guard towers, if he garrisons some villagers over here, should be able to push Hera away, I think. Most likely. Yeah. Villager goes down from Hera. And it doesn't seem like TaToH's paying too much attention over here. Hey, there we go. There we go. He's paying attention over here once again. I think he was probably paying attention to the right-hand side, but it's coming way too late. He can't even garrison the villages over here in time because the castle's coming out for sure. Plus, we have the Rathas coming out from Hera. We have the Armor Elephant as well, so the tower was not going to stay out too long anyway. And now we see for TaToH, he's going for Hera shot. There's collecting the first relic. I mean, he's gonna keep on trying. He was able to catch up in worker count for the most part. Both players on 3 TCs. TaToH has even got an extra idle TC time compared to Hera, but still somehow he was able to scrap enough resources to click up to the Imperial Age. He was able to get enough villagers out over here to catch up in worker count for the most part, despite the fact that Hera's been on the lead in that regards for quite a while. Now we'll see a castle on the way for TaToH. Everything's gotta go TaToH's way in the Imperial Age if it's to ever come back into this game. The center is just so important. First off, he's gotta get water control. So getting to the Imperial Age is gonna be good. He could potentially go for fast fire ship. That's about the only thing he can go for. I mean, he can try to go for elite turtle ships, but I just don't think it's going to be good enough against the fires here. And Koreans, they do not get access to demo line units, so they do not get demolition rafts ships or heavy demo ships for that matter. So it's just gonna have to be either elite turtles. He's got fire right now, I guess that's a good number. Or fast fire ship. Imperial is on the way now for Hera as well. What are your predictions for the series? I'm honestly not really sure what to expect anymore because TaToH showed incredible performance in game number 1 on a map that I would definitely have favored Hera on, and I don't know, this is his home map. He's been able to catch up pretty well against Hera. I mean, take a look at gather economy time. So far, it's been better for Hera, yes. That's about it. But TaToH should be able to catch up, or at the very least, he shouldn't really be falling behind too much. Castle Age upgrades coming out for TaToH over here, which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to give the towers extra range. So it's got +2 already. And once he gets... So it's got +4, sorry. And once he gets Bracer, that's going to go out to +5. Which makes it keep very long range. As much range as a Siege Engineer bombard cannon, actually. There we are. As much range as a 2-turn castle as well, with crenulations. So chemistry's coming in TaToH, there's a number of things he could go for. With chemistry, he gets access to Cannon Galleon. Right now, he's got a trebuchet already on land that he's gonna use to trap the TC down from Hera. He's got the turtles over here. These are still standard, I think. The fire ships are fast fire ship though, so that's good on water from TaToH. And Hera's got fast fire ship as well, so that's going to be pretty even on water from both these players. And yeah, despite the fact that we have chemistry and TaToH could potentially have gone for Cannon Galleon, he doesn't really have the map control to really risk it, right? To really go for it. He does have heated shot and he's got the castle over here, so I guess there's always a chance. Nice shot over here. TaToH's getting some nice picks. Should be able to get a trebuchet down very soon. He's just finished researching shipwright. He's got towers still on the right hand side. And notice Hera's got to split his attention between defending the right hand side and defending the center. Now, of course, that's going to be the case for TaToH as well. He's got to split his attention between putting pressure at the center and putting pressure on the right hand side. This is really good. No, Hera's taking the treasures down with fast fire ship. And he cannot take the final one, but still, this relieves so much pressure. He was up against 3 trebs. He almost loses his own. But that was really nicely done. Right hand side. Yeah, it seems like TaToH should be able to, actually Hera should be able to clean up TaToH's forward. So he's got into 200 population, or he's getting to 200 population very soon as he gets a few extra houses or some extra house and buildings. He's got a TC on the way. In TaToH's just making a transition to Galleon. Full on Galleon production over here. He's producing from 5 docks. Meanwhile, Hera. Yeah, Hera's in a little bit of a sticky position over here. He is looking stronger on paper, but then on water is actually getting kind of pushed back, you know. And if TaToH ends up getting water control, this is absolutely huge because he'll be able to start pumping the Cannon Galleon. And that'll be incredible. So we see extra docks on the way from TaToH. Shouldn't really be staying out for too long, as Hera still has a trebuchet over here to work with. So he's going after the trebuchets from TaToH. Hera's market abuse is contested by few currently. Matched by none, actually. TaToH's just relying on manual eco balance, I guess. Could certainly use the market, TaToH that is. He's starting to put a little bit too much wood over here. While Hera, on the other hand, he's selling food actually, so the castle does crumble from TaToH. He's going for a defensive tower. Struggling big time. He's going for extra docks down the south over here. He's just gonna try to keep on putting pressure on water, because once again, if you do end up getting water control, that's going to put you in a much better position on a game like this, on a map like this. Because if you take a look, so this is the thing about water control on Northern Isles. If you get it by going for Canyon Galleon, you'll just be able to deny so much surface area from your opponent. So let's see that TaToH does end up getting water control over here, right? So he's going for the water over here down south. Let's see, he comes over here. He starts placing some Cannon Galleon over here. He can take this down. He can take this down easily. You can keep on surrounding it over here. And with the Cannon Galleon range, he should be able to prevent access to the center island for Hera. But also, on the right hand side over here, take a look at that. Hera's land is not particularly abundant, right? So we could see TaToH deny basically everything along these lines and anything along these lines with Cannon Galleon. So water control is absolutely instrumental over here for the guys. TaToH seems like he might end up getting it. Hera over booming a little bit, perhaps. 157 villagers or workers. Yeah, and he was going for fishing ships. Actually, he just canceled those. That must have been a misclick, but yeah, 157 right now for Hera. That's going to leave him with enough space for only 43 military units. While TaToH, on the other hand, TaToH's going for a TC up in the north. He still has a siege workshop. He still has bombard cannons over here. And check this out. He's actually going to start barreling the defenses from Hera. What is this? Bloodline is coming out for Hera. Light cover is coming out for him. TaToH, he finally has the cannon galleon coming out, and he should be able to take care of the castle. He should be able to take care of everything. But take a look at this. Hera's losing so many villages, just trying to keep the castle up. My lord. Of course, he could take the losses. He was overboomed. But TaToH's looking mighty strong. 186 population with already 62 militaries compared to 25 from Hera. Damn strong TaToH's looking right now. Does Hera have Mahayana? I don't think he does. I don't think he does. Because if you take a look and you add the villager or the worker count and the military count, that's going to add up to 177. That's exactly the population that he's got right now. So if he had Mahayana, that would be lowered by about 14. With Cannon Galleon, now it's a lot harder for Hera to defend his fortifications. And it seems like he's going to get kind of denied on land. Or at the very least on his starting island. He's just going to have the center left to work with by the looks of it. TaToH's realized about the scouts coming over, and Hera will now taking the cannon galleon down for sure, but he's already taking so much damage over here. Now let's take a look. Hera's trying to get a castle up on the left hand side. TaToH's reacting over here beautifully with a tower of his own with a keep. However, it's not going to come up enough or fast enough to prevent the castle from coming up, so that's certainly not going to go TaToH's way. Meanwhile, down south, it seems like this should be going TaToH's way. We have a beautiful choke point for the galleon, and Hera does not stand a chance over here. He shouldn't have getting completely cleaned up, and if TaToH keeps on putting pressure on water, and if he keeps on holding on to his water lead, his navy lead, he should be in a pretty good spot to take down the castles from Hera once again. It's been the case that TaToH's been the one putting pressure over here. He still has 7 cannon galleon to work with. So the castle's going down very soon, and with this castle crumbling, there is no stopping TaToH moving over to the center and taking these castles down. Now, interestingly enough, check this out, guys. If we take a look at the resource view on the minimap, there is only 2 golds left over here at the center, and TaToH's done. Actually, Hera has not been able to collect the gold from back home because of TaToH's push. So this is really interesting. TaToH is actually having extra gold over here on Hera's base. Then Hera's got at the center. We have 13,500 gold left for TaToH in Hera's base. And Hera's got 3,500 gold if he does not manage to push TaToH away from his base, from his island. TaToH's going to have more gold by stealing what was Hera's. And Hera's going to have a gold income problem. It's going to have a gold situation, a shortage situation. Now we see the castle has gone down, of course. The cannon galleon were not going to struggle against that, but now they are moving on to the center. And TaToH, he had this as his home map for a reason. He is controlling the water. He's dominating. Right now, situation is looking so favorable for the Bull players. Gotta keep up. Make sure he does not take any questionable trades over here. Always keeping the choke points at hand. And even though we see a flank over here, mini flank from Hera, doesn't seem like it's going to be anywhere near enough to clean these units out. So TaToH still taking the flyer ships down. Got pushed away from the north, and Hera's got in control of one of these golds once again, but TaToH still has access to both these golds himself. And you know what, Hera's going to have a wood situation in a moment as well. He does not have too much over here. I guess he does have wood up in the north for the time being. But once again, I imagine that's probably not going to be the case for much longer if TaToH keeps water control over here, because he could potentially take the castles down over here, push the villages away. It's been very, very difficult for the Bull player to keep on putting pressure on water. And one thing that I would love to see from TaToH is just go for some docks, man. The Bull player, just go for a few docks over here. And that's going to be enough already for him to keep on reinforcing his navy without having to rely on the docks from the south. Like, imagine he goes for something like this. Then he can keep on pouring galleon into the water over here without having to wait for the units to travel over. That would be so good. Nice that cavalry push though from Hera. Doesn't that pushing TaToH away. He's got, yeah, the Trebuchet over here on the right hand side as well, so he's going to take the DC down, and TaToH does effectively get pushed away by Hera from his base for the time being. That is, he's going to try and make a play for Halberdier. He's going for the Halberdier upgrade right now. Yeah, it keeps helping a lot with the water fights, but also helping a lot with the land fights over here. On water is going to be because of heated shot, and then on land because, well, the nasty range and incredible damage. How much range are actually on these keep? Holy crap. Yeah, that's a lot. Once again, TaToH not really struggling over here. I feel like he's got to push a little bit harder. I do not really like that TaToH is going... like, he's taking so long. Just push through. Just commit to it and go. Right hand side, we have the barracks over here. The Halberdier coming out, but Hera will end up pushing TaToH away for the most part. At the very least, the villagers are going down in any case. Let's take a look at the turtle shots over here. They do have AoE damage. Oh, that was a good shot. Yeah, and Hera's got some Bengalis. What am I talking about? Some Rathas over here. But these are standard castle units, so these are not too strong. And you know what? The problem for Hera is, once again, because he's got a lot more workers compared to TaToH, he cannot really go for too many extra navy units, right? While TaToH, on the other hand, is still much better. So Hera just calls a GG. He calls a GG, as he cannot really keep on going over here anymore. TaToH will take game number 3, as he was just running out of wood himself. That's going to position TaToH ahead 2-1 against Hera. Gonna see the reaction of the players on the webcam in just one moment. And I'm very curious as to why we are delayed, because... yeah, there we go. Hera just calls it. Why we are delayed over here so much? Because I thought that I came into the game at about the same time as them. Anyway, let's take a look at the achievements really quickly. And what do we get? We're gonna have for military a 3-to-2 gate ratio for TaToH, which is great for economy. A stronger economy for Hera, actually collecting about 800 extra resources, but it did not matter. Given the extra villages he had, you would be expecting his economy to be significantly stronger than it was, but it was not the case. So yeah, we'll play TaToH 2, Hera 1. TaToH's 5,000 points ahead because of the KD. It's not been good trades for Hera. Every time he's tried to take the galleon down with fire galleys, it's not been good enough. I'm actually not sure how Hera lost while controlling the middle for the longest part of the game. Because with the center, he was only getting as much gold as he would have started with anyway. Because TaToH pushed him away from the golds, from the starting golds, Hera was using the center as basically the same way that TaToH was using his base. TaToH utilized all the gold on his base, Hera utilized almost all the gold at the center, but all the gold at the right hand side on Hera's island was still pretty much untapped. Hera started collecting from some of it closer to the end of the game, but for the most part he was kind of pushed away. Anyway, game number 3, game number 4 rather, should be coming up in a moment. There's a lobby for sure, so very soon we'll get the civilizations. And you can see the IEMs underneath the over-ear headphones as well, headsets. Headphones, I guess. From both these players, preventing spoilers from the casters. Nice. And yeah, let's run a quick commercial over here before the next game begins. For non-subs, of course. Until we get civilizations for game number 2. TaToH's in the lobby, Hera's in the lobby right now, so we'll see in a moment. We still have Chinese available. Oh, next map's gonna be the Bull. Nice. So we have Chinese available for Hera still. We have Byzantines, we have Saracens. We could see Saracens, we could see Byzantines. I do not expect to see Chinese necessarily. I think Chinese are probably gonna be left for enclosed. And TaToH, on the other hand, well, TaToH already utilized Cuman, so that's not going to be available for enclosed anymore, but he does have Turks. He's got Hindustanis, Lithuanians. What will we get for game number 4, though? I think on the Bull, it's probably in TaToH's best interest to go for either Hindustanis or Lithuanians. I don't see Turks working too well over there. On enclosed, perhaps. But I think it's probably going to be better for him to go for Lithuanians, I would say, because the extra starting resources, he might be able to start putting pressure from the get-go, given how close the players spawn from each other. Alright. The civ selection's coming through. What do we got for these guys? Once again, I just can't state enough how much I love the production for this room. It's been so much better compared to last year's, in my opinion. It's been absolutely fantastic. Alright. The players are left in the lobby. Krasini is no longer there, so the civilizations have been chosen. And for TaToH, we have Turks for the Bull. Wow, the one save. I thought to myself, there is no way he's going for Turks, right? He is going for Turks. What do we get for Mr. Hera then? Alright. Replayer's going for... Let's take a look. I know which civilization he's gone for because I'm already in game. We are just waiting for the guys to show the civs on stream and for the webcam switch. There we go. We have Saracens. Saracens for Hera. And the guys are already in game. So we'll just jump into it right away. Welcome everyone then to game number 4. This could be the equalizer from Hera. But this is match point already as TaToH is up 2-1 against the red player. For civilizations, you already saw that we have Saracens for Hera, Turks for TaToH, which is going to yield a very interesting matchup. So from the get-go, we see that Hera's going for full walls. He does not have an archer range, he does not have a stable. Meanwhile, TaToH's got the stable already up. And remember, the Turks, they do get like cavalry and hussar upgrades for free. So this could heat up pretty soon, later on in the game. TaToH's just trying to keep this open for the time being. We'll see if he's able to do it. Hera's trying to get the walls up, and now we see the spearman coming in, and just in time, Hera gets the quick walls. Beautiful, and TaToH did his best to prevent the walls from coming up, but he couldn't really get away with it. Now he's gonna have to circle around the map all the way back to his base with the scout. Well, players are going for the dogs as well already. And the walls are coming out from TaToH right now. Well, he did go for one extra scout. He just couldn't really keep Hera from walling himself up. I believe it's still open up in the north though, isn't it? Guys! Guys! It's open. Up in the north. Do not say a word. This could be really good if TaToH realizes about it. And it seems like the players are going to disengage for the most part. Yeah, you know what? TaToH's walling all the way down the south. This is not something that you see very often, actually. Yeah, but this is gone for it. At the center, see an archer range on the way for Hera. He did send the villager over, so he could potentially go for some walls over here. Potentially go for walls forward as well. That's something we have seen quite a bit. There we are. Beautiful. Market's on the way now for Hera as well. Left hand side. Hera's gotta keep on putting pressure over here through the center, bring the archers over. They'll try to push TaToH away, and TaToH is just going for a preempted tower over here. He doesn't really have vision. The units at the center, but he was expecting there to be some sort of push at some point in time, right? Because he already saw the arch range. Tower's not coming in fast enough by the looks of it, but he does commit to it right now, and he should be able to get this one up. So, what is the plan over here for TaToH? Getting the tower over here and not collecting stone at all, because it's simply not available, means that he won't be able to go for a castle in the Castle Age. He won't be able to go for a second TC in the Castle Age. He's much later to the next stage compared to Hera as well, and it seems like it's kind of a disaster start for TaToH over here. He was kind of committed to the scout push, but he couldn't really make it work. And now Hera's gonna be the first player to get to the Castle Age. He's got full walls. He's got access to the center already. Through the right hand side of the ear of the bull. The ear canal. And it seems like Hera's gonna be able to chop through very soon as well. If we take a look at TaToH on the other hand, not particularly close. He's still at the very least one full layer of trees away from the center. While Hera's gonna be there in just a moment, right? Well, it's actually also one layer of trees over here still, but Hera's microing these units. He's managing his economy in such a way that they are going to target the one tree. So, by the time Hera gets to the Castle Age, he'll already get access to the center. He could potentially go for extra TCs. If we take a look at the left-hand side, TaToH's got the walls already up, which we already saw. And this is still accessible, though. So, TaToH could potentially get to the center through the left-hand side. And I guess we're gonna see. We'll find out if he goes for it or not.
Efendim? Evet.
مستعد. نعم. مستعد. أمرك.
Castle Age is on the way now for TaToH as Hera gets there already, and TaToH's still a minute and 20 seconds away from it.
نعم. أمرك.
Oh! And TaToH! TaToH is coming in! You guys didn't say anything, did not say a word, and TaToH brought the scouts in. He realized about the opening. Up in the north, he gets 2 villages down so far. He's trying to go after more villages for the time being. He's unable to find too much extra damage, but he might be able to do a little bit better over here. We'll see. For the time being, he's running away from the camels, but Hera still did not realize about the opening over here, so TaToH's just going to bail through the right-hand side. Well done. Let's take a look at Hera's point of view. Something that I should have done earlier, but he's just assuming that it's connected up in the north, and it's not. Which means that once TaToH gets the light cavalry, and there we go, he's got a light cavalry up here. It's going to turn around. It's going to take the engagement against the camel. It's going to clean the camel up. And now he can go over and keep on putting pressure against the villages. Light cavalry shouldn't really struggle against spearmen too much. And if TaToH plays his cards right, he could very well bring a few extra scouts through the north and start putting extra pressure over here. He does have stone miners, so we could potentially see even knights on the way, but he's not really going for much of anything. Just husbandry, willpower, and bolso over here, but he does manage to get one villager. Make the 2 villagers going down. Yes, sir. And now Hera, notice, Hera's going for a wall on the right hand side. He's still completely unaware. And here comes TaToH. He's bringing a second wave of units. Is this going to be enough for Hera to realize? If he was paying attention to the minimap, he might have seen the blob of blue units going over the north. And that's another villager going down. And now Hera knows. Because he was there, he did not see any scouts coming through the right hand side. He's gotta realize, but it might be too late. That's another village going down. To be fair though, Hera did have the second TC already up, so he's not really falling behind the work count despite the fact that he's been taking the most losses. In TaToH, despite all the damage over here, is still behind the worker and military count. He's gonna keep on trying a little bit harder, TaToH, that is. Second TC is on the way up in the north. He still does not have access to the center. And he's still committed to full light cavalry only, and he... Wait a moment, did Hera not realize about it? Come on! Hera does not know! There's no way! What is going on with Hera over here? He's still not realizing about this. And just take a look at his base cam over here. He's gotta realize, he's just taking a look at the minimap. It's like, where the hell is this open? Camel going down over there. Now the walls are up on the right hand side already, but that villager is a goner as well. Yes, another villager going down. There is a little bit of pressure on the left hand side from Hera, but so far he's just knocking on the door and he's not been able to get through. 4 siege workshop coming in for TaToH. There we go. There we go. Hera realized finally. This resulted in a lot of damage, yes, but it also feels a little bit like a wasted opportunity. Not 100% because TaToH did manage to get some damage done over there, but it feels to me like he could have done so much more if he had just come in with one big ball of light cavalry as opposed to several individual armies, smaller armies. It's been difficult for him to get too much damage done. Now he's gotten the light cavalry through the right hand side of the round, the bull's ear, so he might be able to get 1 or 2 extra villages over here. We'll see. It's still, after all, open at the south over here, you know, in the place that connects Hera's bold bases together. But yeah, it seems like the camels are going to be enough of a defense for Hera to hold on against TaToH. So now TaToH, once again, is just left behind. Fewer military units, fewer workers as well compared to Hera. It just doesn't seem like it's good enough. It's gonna try and breach through. I did like to see the siege workshop coming for TaToH over here. It took some time for him to get the siege out, but he's coming in. And Hera can't see this. Hera is 100% aware that he's just gotten breached. Does have the TC over there. He's got 3 TCs to protect his economy. That's still going to result in about 27 villages that are going to be left exposed, as you can only garrison 45 and 3 TCs. And TaToH, well, he's got a lot of light cavalry over here. 10. He's got the monks over there as well, so let's see. He's going for the conversions. Very good control of the monks over there. He's going to end up getting 2, getting all 3 conversions, but is that going to suffice for him to get a better engagement over here, given that the amount of cavalry was so much greater for Hera, and TaToH only had light cavalry to work with besides the scouts himself? And it seems like, yes sir, it's not going to be only enough, but it's going to be not even close, as TaToH gets a complete butcher going over here, against Hera. Scouts moving over the right hand side. Now they're gonna be taking more villages down, and there is no way There is no way! Is this going to be it? There is so much damage coming up! TaToH's got full faith in these monks as well, so he could potentially go for up to 4 conversions actually, and Hera's got exactly 4 camels over here, you know. If TaToH lands all 4 conversions, he drives Hera away from his army up in the north. There is a defensive siege workshop over here for Hera, but the pressure from TaToH is just so strong. And light cavalry on their own right have been an incredible unit over here for TaToH. He's just gotten so much value out of them, and even though I think it would have been even better for him if he had just focused his pushes on strong single army pushes as opposed to individual smaller groups, I think it would have been better. He still ended up getting the better end of the deal. If you take a look right now, TaToH's got a heavy population. Has got the same worker count, actually 1 higher right now compared to Hera, and much more military as well. So I can't believe my eyes as I see TaToH dominating in game number 3, or at the very least game number 4 rather. He seems to be dominating. Hera is on the brink over here. Is on the edge. He could very well end up losing this one. One more engagement is going to take place before we see what happens over here. That is a good amount of camels and crosses over here from Hera. He's going to try and bring the crosses over to get the monks down first, but TaToH's unit control has been great, and he's kept the monks on the back, so now he's going to go forward, and he's going to try to get the conversions. We're going to see the camels over there getting targeted. We're going to see 1, 2 camels getting targeted over there. We're going to see the conversions connecting. Yes, sir. Meanwhile, the mountain is going down right away, and it doesn't seem like the crosses are going to suffice. Does not seem like the camels are going to suffice. And the monks are healing the units from behind. TaToH's completely dominating the engagement over here. Hera about to lose the TC, as this TC loses HP as well. Pop goes the weasel, and the villagers come out, and TaToH's going to be there to collect the spoils. He's taking all the villagers down. Hera's military is nowhere near to keep on defending, so an emergency castle is called. Can this come up though? That's the question. It doesn't seem like it's going to be the case, is it? You know, TaToH is starting to lose on the units over here a little bit. He needs to keep on reinforcing his army. It's got more light cavalry coming out, but the camels over here from Hera are looking a little bit too strong, and TaToH cannot really keep on pushing through. However, he was able to get 1 TC down. It's going to leave Hera on 2 TCs, and he does have another one coming out right next to the stone at the center. Plus, the castle is going to protect these lumberjacks and stone miners as well, which should suffice for him to get yet another castle very soon. But it's been an incredible amount of damage for TaToH. Take a look at that population. It's got over 50% stronger population compared to Hera. It's got a larger than 50% population lead. On the left-hand side, there's a TC finally coming up at the center from TaToH. That's gonna be the 4th one. It's got some light cavalry, it's got some camels. Hera could potentially take the engagement over here and push TaToH away. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference still. The villager lead right now consists of 30 extra villagers for TaToH. He's got a much stronger economy as well, and if he keeps on, if he keeps up with eco production, he should be the first player to go up to the Imperial Age as well, thus getting access to Hazar. Heavy camels too. Yeah, there we go. The TC's coming out for sure. Hera did manage to get some picks over there, but it's not even close. So far, 35 to 10. Eco KD favoring TaToH, better than 3-1. TaToH's going pretty heavily into camel production right now. He does manage to scrap enough resources to go up to the Imperial Age, while Hera, on the other hand, man, his economy is kind of running on fumes. It's very hard for him to even keep villager production going while he goes for military at the same time. And TaToH's going to be in the Imperial Age in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. He does not have any stone miners. Now he's going to start collecting some stones, so very soon we'll see a castle come up. I don't think it's going to be coming up before he gets to the Imperial Age, though. Not unless he tanks his economy by selling all the wood and the food to potentially buy enough stone to go for a castle. I think it's probably going to be better for him to just keep on going for standard siege. And just wait for Hazar. Hazar going to be so strong. Hazar, plate bar than armor is going to be great. Iron casting, actually not iron casting, sorry, blast furnace is going to be absolutely game changing for TaToH as well. As defense is not going to do much against camels, obviously, but the attack is going to certainly make a difference. TaToH is playing amazing, yes. This is not the civilization I was expecting to see on this map, and this is probably not the civilization Hera was expecting to see on this map, and TaToH's already made it work so well. And check this out, there's another big engagement coming up over here. Hera's going for the forward castle. He won't be able to get this one within range of the TC, or actually close enough to the TC that it's going to range it. We see the conversions coming up over here for TaToH, but I don't think he's managed to get too many conversions, and he does end up losing some of the monks over here. However, because TaToH was also making a play for camels over here, that's not going to represent a military lead for Hera anymore in terms of composition. However, the numbers are looking better for the red player. It seems like the HP pool is looking favorable for TaToH, though, so despite the numbers over here looking quite healthy for Hera, TaToH's getting the engagement, and he won't be able to deny the castle, but he does end up preventing Hera from catching up or potentially getting further ahead in military count. And take a look at that. As TaToH gets to the Imperial Age, Hera calls it GG! And TaToH moves on to the Grand Finals to face Theory with a final score of 3-1. The upset over here, I don't think a lot of people were expecting this to be the case. And TaToH, the beast, moves on. Let's go back. Oh my lord. I'm so looking forward to the interview. It's coming up in a moment. For the time being, we're just gonna have to let that sink in for a moment, because guys, who was expecting that? I was not. I'm going to tell you that much. And yeah, 3-1 over here. Final result for TaToH is just nothing short of amazing. He's going to move on to the Grand Finals, where he'll be facing Mr. Leary. That will, however, take place after the Grand Final of Age of Empires 1. We are only 3 hours and a half into the stream.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
TaToH, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
I cannot imagine how you're feeling. I feel like my heart is racing for you. Well played.
Thank you.
That last game, absolutely phenomenal. Tell us your thoughts. How are you feeling with your performance?
Well, I'm super happy with my performance, obviously. Like, Hera didn't lose a single game until semifinals, so I knew it was going to be super hard, but actually I prepared really good. Like, I have to shout out Winchester because he helped me a lot during these days. So, Winchester. Last game, I know he played all the time Turks, and it was really hard to beat them. So I say, okay, I can have them as well. So I prefer to have them than he has them. So.
And when you were playing the game on Morass and you saw Hera had so many on Shorefish, was that also a motivator for you to put your economy on the Shorefish as well in the last game?
No, Surface is the fastest foot, so we kind of have to do all in there. That's why the games usually are fast there, because if you take a bad fight and then it snowballs so hard, because if you are out of the feast, you're out of the game, basically.
Let's talk about that hole in the last game. I think you had so much value. How happy were you when you just kept getting your floods of light cabin?
Oh, the hole was so unfortunate for him. I didn't realize until late, to be fair. Like, why is a speedman there? But I didn't double check. And then I saw, oh, there is a hole. So I think it panicked him quite hard, to be fair.
All right. Well, we know what we do with holes. We plug them, and Hera did do that, just that. But unfortunately, I think a lot of damage was already done. The first game, there was that pause. Did that affect you in any way going forward?
No. It actually helped me to calm a little bit, because it was a bit, the first game is always a bit like shaky. So with the pause, I calmed down, and it went good.
So you think it was an advantage for you that you were able to gather your thoughts a little bit more?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would say so.
And the TaToHs, was that a planned pick for you? Because that was one of your last civs that you chose.
Yeah, TaToH is not a pick that is being picked early, so you can risk it and leave it for later stages as well.
Okay, so it was a very strategic draft. Well, really well drafted. You had some amazing raids in that first game. Were you hoping to end it in feudal? You got a lot of upgrades for your scouts, bloodlines, defense.
Yeah, like, the idea was like he was kind of defensive, so I had the chance to punish him, and it worked out pretty well. I tried to finish in feudal, but he defends, and the knight in Castle Age cleaned my whole army, so I had to go Castle Age.
And going into the finals, how do you feel being matched up against Leary?
I think no one is happy when he faces Leary, and we actually practice a lot as well for the finals, so I'm not sure. It will be a fun game, I guess.
Do you think having all of that practice together is going to be a net positive or a net negative for you?
Probably negative for me because he knows my strategies and he's just like full archer micro. So we all know that, so it's going to work for me, pretty sure.
Well, we will look forward immensely to watching that final happen. But for now, we're going to take back to the analysis and hear some more insights.